and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Tuesday, August 1st, 2017. Just want to read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice, not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Good morning and happy Tuesday to you on this first trading day in the month of August. So we now have our candle for the month of July complete. So with that, let's get into today's video. We always start off with a look at the Russell Index, which we use as our proxy for the markets overall. I really think that the Russell is probably one of the most rate sensitive of the indexes, the major indexes. And so I use it as my proxy overall, and I also want to keep these videos short. So as long as the Russell is moving higher, I am adding new names to my watch list. We've been keeping an eye on this wedge pattern that has been taking shape up here. These are the monthly candles. This blue line is our more long-term area of support and resistance, but really we're just kind of concerning ourselves with this area here. You can see that the candles, the monthly candles, don't really have a whole lot of conviction to them in terms of price direction. May, we had a soft candle, red candle, that caught our attention. June canceled it out with a bullish orientation, and here we are, the doji candle for the month of July, right at the top of our range. So we'll see if price can finally break out to the upside, or whether this doji is a caution candle and price starts to roll this way. We will see. I'm filming this at about 8:10 on Tuesday morning. The futures are up in a healthy way, so we'll get a strong start to the day. Going to move it away from the monthly to the 1-year weekly so we can better see how price is behaving in this wedge. Here's the same black line and the same orange area of support down here. You can see that the black line created an area of resistance back here in February, in April, and here we are with our candle from last week, which touched our black line and then retreated. So we'll see if we can get a candle that cancels out that candle this week and some strength. But overall, price on the Russell is trading up and over the blue line, which is the 8-day EMA, which we use as our guide. So over the blue on the weekly, but under the blue on the daily. So here's the daily IWM. And you can see that price on the Russell is trading below our blue 8-day EMA. So we will not be putting any fresh names forward for our watch list, but I wanted to highlight 3 past picks that still have a lot of growth and value that might be ones to look at and keep an eye on here. So with price on the Russell trading below the 8-day EMA on the daily chart, I'm not going to put a new name forward for my watch list, but here are 3 that came forward on my screen this morning. They're all past Chart of the Day Cafe picks. Check the scores on them this morning. They are still loaded with value. They've got high value scores, high growth scores, and each of them pays a dividend. So I'm going to go through them really quickly. The first one is Strum Ruger, RGR. We're looking at the 5-year monthly chart. We put our first video forward on RGR at this green circle back here in 2014. You had to be patient, but sure enough, it took off. Had a nice run from there. Again, these are the monthly candles. Formed this wedge pattern, broke out of the wedge, and it's sitting right here now. I think it might be teeing up for another run. We will see. I'm going to move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 6-month daily. Strum Ruger is announcing earnings tomorrow. I don't get involved before earnings. Everyone has their own way of doing things, but I like the way it's poised to perhaps move up and over our blue 8-day EMA. Specific scores on Strum Ruger this morning. Nice healthy value score, forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 15%, and current dividend yield of 3.16. The next one is Kimberly Clark. I believe they are past earnings. Kimberly Clark, value scores there, forecasted earnings growth rate of 14%, current dividend yield of 3.15%. I'm going to move it to the 2-year weekly chart. We put Kimberly Clark, our little video was, I don't know if you can see this green circle here, our green circle video indicator. That's where we put the video out highlighting Kimberly Clark. This is the weekly chart. It had a nice run from there. It's come in and it's sitting in an area and behaving in a way that suggests if the markets continue to show strength, I think Kimberly Clark might be one to keep an eye on for a move up and over the blue and perhaps a resumption of that uptrend. We'll see. Not making any recommendations. These are just the ones I'm going to be keeping an eye on. And lastly, BP. I'm going to put BP on a 1-year weekly. We put BP forward back here at this area of support. It sort of wonked around a little bit, then had some lift. They announced earnings, I believe they came out last night or this morning. Very high value score, forecasted earnings growth rate of 33% and dividend yield of 6.83%. I checked those numbers this morning. We're looking at the weekly chart. It has a nice look. I'm going to move it away from the weekly to the 6-month daily. Looks like it's going to open higher, but BP might be one to keep an eye on here in this area. With that, I'll leave you. Our next video comes out on Thursday. Have a great next couple of days, and we'll look for our video on Thursday. Thanks very much for watching.